I'll post the link in the group. Perfect. Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
Leave the messenger chat, please, Stephanie. Exit the messenger chat.
Yeah.
We're never trying that again.
No. Sorry. I just thought that it was the
No.
fastest way to fix that. Now I just have to put the link in the event page.
There's no more feedback on this end when you speak. So
There still is some.
I just got a message, an alert that an unrecognized device was trying to access my computer.
There's still feedback. Somebody is still on the messenger thing.
Oh, sorry, guilty. That better?
Not yet.
I don't think it's me.
Oh, it's gone now.
Okay, maybe it was me. Maybe there was just a delay.
Yep, I think we're good. Okie dokie. I'll post this link into the group, into the event. Let me see how I can do that. Events. This event. Discussion. Add a post. We are having some slight technical difficulties. You will be able to access the live feed here. There we go. Post.
thank you.
Thanks for taking
Okie
care of that,
dokie.
Denise.
Well, it didn't really help anything.
No, but we're, you knew what you were troubleshooting. It's good.
Yeah. Live troubleshooting.
Woohoo! There's still an echo. There is still an echo going on. Okay. Let's just start this thing and we'll just muddle along. For anybody who's watching this at this point. Hi, welcome. My name is Denise. And I am here with Rose and Ross and Lara and Julie and Cheryl and Stephanie. And together we are the International Art Alliance. So we've known each other for about a year now, I think. We all met last year during the pandemic when we were all sort of searching for a new audience and new ways to approach people. Because as artists, this is difficult. So we were doing this course and we sort of met along the way and kind of felt really supported by each other. So we figured we're gonna embark on an epic art journey together. So we have actually, even though we've known each other for about a year, we have never met in person. So we hope that if this all goes well, we can do that for the first time sometime spring 2023 when we hold our big exhibition at the end of this project. So keep an eye out for that because that's going to be a super exciting moment for all of us. So before I go any further, if you have any questions for any of us, please type them in the comments on the Facebook feed, either on Julie's page where we are now, or in our personal or our event page, and then we will get back to you on that. Now, before I go and explain to you all what this magical palimpsest thing is that we have been talking about, and which is the reason why we're all here, I want to give everybody the opportunity to sort of introduce themselves, and so you guys also know who these wonderful people around me all are. So Rose, you can go first.
Thank you, Denise, so much. I'm Rose L. Williams. I live in Vancouver. My heart's in Trinidad and I'm from Montreal. So I'm a little global already myself. And I like to tap into botanical chemistry, printing plant pigments to create artwork inspired by humanity's fundamental longing to connect with nature and its healing power.
Awesome. I'm going to see, because we're still getting this echo. So I'm trying to figure out where that's coming from, but the room seems to be empty now, so it's not that. So Ross, tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Denise. My name is Ross Berman. I'm located in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. And right now, my current project uses a Hebrew word, chai. It's usually a piece of jewelry that you see people wearing. It's 2 letters. And with those letters, I try to investigate the figure-ground relationship between the divine and the person, the world, and our responses to it.
Awesome. Oh, and tell people, where are you in the world?
Los Angeles, United States.
And you, Rose?
I'm in Vancouver, Canada.
Ooh, all West Coast people. Lara, tell us about yourself.
I'm Lara, I'm Italian. I currently live in UK. I lived there for a while in Spain for 7 years and then in Abu Dhabi. I love paint everything. I like abstract, portrait, landscape, but now I'm focused more on portrait. And I like to paint to find balance. I would like that the people looking at my painting find the balancing, because I think that we need balance in our life. Most really now also.
We sure do.
Yeah.
So where are you in the world?
Now I'm living in UK, Buckingham.
But you're not from the UK, are you?
No, I'm Italian. I'm Italian from near Venice. I was born near Venice.
Nice. So see, we're super international. Julie, you're muted.
Hi, I'm Julie Brayton. I am from Rhode Island on the East Coast of the United States. I am a contemporary impressionist painter, mostly of coastal scenes. As a fisherman's daughter, I have always been fascinated and felt one with the sea. So that is something I enjoy painting, and people in my area love to receive those paintings.
Awesome. And you are in Rhode Island.
Yes.
Okay, just on a technical note, we're still getting this super bad echo. Just maybe if you're not speaking, can you mute yourself? Just so we can make sure that we deal with that, because I'm sure that's annoying for people to listen to. Cheryl, I know it says Tim on your little thingy there, but this is Cheryl, people. You're muted now. You may unmute yourself when you speak.
There we go. Better? My name is Cheryl Wilcox. I live at North Avoca on the Central Coast, I suppose New South Wales in Australia. I am surrounded by beaches and beautiful national parks, and I love where I live, and I paint what I love, and I try to capture just the natural beauty of the environment.
Awesome. Thank you. Can you remute yourself?
Yes.
Before we move on? And then Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie McLean. I live in Toronto, from Montreal. My heart is still in Montreal. I paint portraits with a focus on performers. I try to use color in a bold way so as to accentuate the energy that these performers exude. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, and I am Denise, and I am an expat, I am a traveler, and I'm an artist, and I obsessively take photographs wherever I go. And then I use those photographs to create hand-layered mixed media paintings that evoke memories and inspiration. So that's me in a nutshell. So let's move on to the big question of the day. What the heck's a palimpsest when it's at home? Well, literally, the word palimpsest means something reused or altered, but still bearing visible traces of its earlier form. Now, this kind of perfectly describes what we are doing, because we will be working with the themes transformation and layers of discovery. And each of us, every one of us, we all started a painting, and we did like a little, like the first little traces on the panel. And then we packed it up and we send it to the next person. And then they add a little bit to that layer and then pack it up and send it to the next person. So all these pieces, they start with one of us. And each one of us will have their own interpretation of the theme that we are working on. So we will all write a little bit about our idea behind this painting. And then we each get a chance to add to that. So together we will create in total 14 paintings that will have a total of, I wrote this down somewhere, 98 layers. We're gonna make 98 layers of paints together, which is really, really cool. And actually we already started this project back in December. We started painting. The first, I think there's one painting that has already went from Montreal to Australia, then back to Vancouver, and then to Toronto. So that's pretty exciting. And I think it's now on its way to Rhode Island. Stephanie? Oh,
Yes.
Isn't that awesome? I'm so excited about that.
Very
so
awesome.
yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you about that. If you have any questions about that, we would love to hear from you, because we love questions and we love answering them, and we love telling you about our stuff. Now, I would love to go a little bit farther into why this project is so special to us. And I would love to give Rose, first of all, a chance to talk about this, because she's really, really good at that.
Thank you. That's no pressure. So the project, wow, okay, transformations and layers of discovery. You know, the pandemic has been kind of like a crucible of everybody having to kind of go deep and discover in ourselves on an individual level some, you know, resources and tools that we haven't had to call on in the past. You know, I've never lived through a pandemic before, and I have to say it's been challenging. Personally, I've had a really difficult time, and pivoting, as the new word, the trendy word is, this is like a huge pivot, and being able to connect with other like-minded people, creatives, during such a challenging time has been inexpressibly valuable. It's been supportive, it's been inspiring, and even just hearing everybody's little blurb about themselves just now, even though I've heard them before, I was welling up with emotion, to be perfectly honest with everyone. I was feeling touched by everyone's devotion to their craft. That really touches me, especially amongst artists who've been doing it, you know, through thick and thin. And I think that's a big aspect of what this represents to me, is this through thick and thin component of being an artist, a professional. For me, lifelong. I've been an artist, like literally, I earned my first money creating a logo when I was 16 years old. It's over 42 years for me that I've been making money, trying to make money and make a stamp on the world with what I have to say as an artist. It's been a long time, and it's been alone. It's been in the bushes, like militia, guerrilla warfare, you know, like the guerrilla artists, like back in the day, I really identified with those women, you know, that it was, it felt like that for a long time. So for me, this project, it represents a whole different way of approaching a creative project, not just in the connections with human beings, but with the opportunity to engage with each person's creative output in a very tangible way. It's been very moving. When I received Laura's piece and I opened it, I was moved to tears, and I hadn't even read the very moving text that she'd written to go. I was already moved to tears. I don't know, just because of this generosity of spirit and the fact that we're all being vulnerable enough to open ourselves to this collaborative creative experience.
We love you, Rose.
We do. We do
Yeah.
very much love you. Let's see, because we're about well, we started a little late. So do we want to go like a little bit over? Yeah. Okay. We still have that nasty echo to deal with. So we apologize to everybody who's still hanging in there with us. We will try to be better next time around. We for sure have to have some technical issues to resolve before next week.
I got a notification that there was an unrecognized device that just logged into my Facebook account. So maybe it's the unrecognized device that's causing the echo. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just throwing it out there.
Lara, did you want to say something?
Yeah, this project is very, very important to me because allow me to be to continue in my path. The past year, was very tough for everybody. It was tough, I know, and but knowing you, it was like I don't know how to say, because it wasn't planned. We just joined a course, and probably we would follow a different path, and then we decide to continue to be in touch. And you guys helped me so much, because this project led me to be focused in something that has to come. So to think after, to be not to think in. To be present, but not to think on the present. So was very helpful, and every time is so it's more exciting, because there are new. You are all of you are so like a volcanoes of ideas. So yeah, I'm so glad to be part of it. Thank you.
Sorry, wrong button. I was going to say thank you, Lara. That was super, super great. And I think you speak for many of us when you say that for you, it was a way to look to the future as opposed to being stuck in our ever non-changing present at that time. Ross, did you have anything to add to that?
Thank you.
We'd love to hear from the only gentleman in the group.
Thank you. Well, just to lightly reiterate what Rose and Laura have already said, you know, we really shrivel in isolation, and as artists, we're almost expected to create work in isolation. It only works that way sometimes. It's not a surefire sign you're going to get your work out the door or on the canvas. The fact that we've been able to both use technology and also use old technologies, like the mail, that our work is literally going across the world many, many times, as you had expressed at the beginning, Denise. it puts us in a position where we're really touching something that we've each touched, and not just with our hands, but with our hearts. And it does become this very exciting moment when we receive the packages and we unbox them. I think that probably we'll have unboxing videos at some point where you can see our surprise and our hope we don't ruin what the other person had just done. I'm sure that's part of what each of us brings to this, and how we're able to then clear out so that we can keep going. Like what Laura said, it's like we have something to look forward to, and we get to be together to do it. It's really an unusual project, and the name Palimpsest, I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but $5, thank you very much. It's the most brilliant word for what we're doing, because it's like a game. It's like that surrealist game. Now I can't remember the name of it. Something more. You know, that one. But that one, you just go off of what's already been done by a certain piece. But what we're doing is something that's a little, it really describes the entire process that we're doing in this one word, how we're going around the world with it. So I'm both grateful to each one of you for being involved with this and putting it together, and for any people who decide to take a look at what we're doing, I'm grateful for you to check it out, because we've got some brilliant artists in this group who do just beautiful, beautiful work. And I can't wait for you to see what everybody's doing.
Thank you. Julie, do you have anything to add to our all these lovely words?
I actually have collaborated with other artists before locally, but never on this scale. And I think it's really fun to kind of step outside of the working artist and just be a creative. That for me is really special, because all I really want to be doing in my life is painting. I don't want to do the business part. So this puts me in that place of just thinking creatively, thinking outside the box. And that's the best part of this. And I think that people will enjoy what we collaboratively do as well.
I really love that, because our group was born out of something that was meant to do like business for artists. And this whole project was sort of born out of that idea as well. So we could sort of apply what we have learned in that past year. And for that to for you evoke such creativity and the feeling that you can actually move away from the business stuff, I really love that. That's really awesome. Cheryl, do you have anything to add? You're still muted.
I never know if I'm un or muted, what it means. Yeah, I live on the Central Coast, and while we're as big as Canberra, we are really sort of spread out, and I have little access to things like galleries and community groups. And Newcastle does, and Sydney does, and I've always felt really alone. And the other weekend we went up to Newcastle, and I've been eyeing off all these sort of wonderful penthouses, and I'm saying to my husband, let's move up here and I can buy one of those, have a shop, and actually be with other artists. But I've got the next best thing now. So it's really wonderful to get a glimpse into everybody else's world. Yeah, it's lovely.
And for us to get a glimpse in yours.
Yeah.
Stephanie, do you have anything to add?
Just that I am, so, you know, while Rose has been an artist all her life, I just sort of became an artist. Well, I've been an artist for a while, but I've just started to try to sell my art after that course that we were in. And right after that course, it was sort of like, oh, let's do a group show. And so I'm just going in sort of trial by fire. But all of you have been such a great influence on me. I've learned so much. It's incredible. It's like, the learning curve has just, I mean, it's not been a very, how can I say it? It's been challenging, but you guys have made it easy for me. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, I will add my 2 cents as well. For me, last year was weird because at the end of when the pandemic sort of was starting, I moved from Japan to Canada, and I was sort of thinking I was moving back to a country where I knew the rules, and then I came here and the rules had changed, so that was not so awesome. And I moved sort of away from the area where I was sort of familiar with, so I kind of we really don't know many people here. We don't really speak the language, so we had a hard time finding connection. And then you guys showed up, and I all of a sudden I felt like I found my tribe, and it made it much easier for me to, like Lara, not muddle along in the endless present, but look to the future and actually feel like you're working towards something new. That was really, really helpful for me, and you guys really helped me with that. So that's really awesome, and still do until this day. So I think we should sort of round this down a bit. Before we leave, I want to, do I still have something to say? Yeah, I made notes, you guys. I'm kind of the organized artist type. I'm sorry. We really hope you guys want to join us on this journey we are starting. We are really, really at the beginning, and we would love for you guys to, we're gonna do this every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we hope you wanna share that with all your friends and people that you know, and sort of let us share our journey with you. We promise that our audio will be better next time. We're gonna figure this technical stuff out. And again, we apologize. Next week, we are going to start our series of in-depth artist interviews, where we will each get a turn to sort of tell you a little bit more about ourselves, our work, and then for all of us to get really into the nitty-gritty about that, so you can learn who we are as individual people. And then after that, we're going to have some super exciting stuff coming up. Like Ross mentioned, we're going to be doing live unboxings from some of the pieces that are all moving their way across the world. And we'll have we'll invite some people to like some interviewers. We'll have guest speakers. We'll do artist studio tours, and maybe even some live painting. We might get to that in the future. So I'm sure, like this technical issue, we'll have plenty of bumps along the way for you to enjoy and to laugh at. So please tell your friends, spread the word. And if you are curious about us as individual people, you can find all of our important links in the event page. And we are very much looking forward to hanging out with you next week. Same time, same places. Different sound.
Did you want to answer the question that we got?
Did we get a question?
We did. It was from someone named Jack Trentman.
Okay. Hi, Jack. Thank you for joining us and for hanging in there.
He is wondering, when we do our layering, I can't actually see the question. I just, I can't find it anymore. But when we do our layering, he's wondering, do we collaborate using our own style, or do we try to respect the style of the person whose painting it is, whose initial painting it is?
Yes, that's a very good question, Jack. And I actually wanted to mention that and I forgot. But yes, the idea is, because we do all work in very, very distinctively different styles and mediums as well. So yes, the idea is for all of us to add a layer in our own personal style. So at the end, we were sort of, the paintings will sort of reveal our collective style as a group, which is going to be really interesting, because even based on who started the painting, I think it's going to come out completely different as a collective style. I mean, I think each painting will have a slightly different feel to it, because we are all adding these, like Rose, for example, did these beautiful, she prints with natural like leaves and stuff, right, Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do things with photo transfer, and Ross, for example, he draws a lot with I think you did something with pastels, right, Ross? Good. And you, Julie, you usually paint in oils or acrylics?
I usually paint in oils, but I'm ambidextrous, and for the purpose of this project, I'm using acrylics.
Awesome. And you usually do seascapes, so many of the pieces are going to be quite a bit away from what you usually do.
Yes, but that's okay.
Well, and then yeah, well, that's the fun of it too.
Yes.
And then Cheryl, you also usually use acrylic oils, right? Yes. And Lara, do you also work, or do you work in acrylics?
Usually, yes, I use oil, but I'm using acrylic for this project.
But you mostly paint portraits.
Yes.
Yes. So that's also, again, very different. And Stephanie, you have very bold colors that you use with your musicians, which is very, very different from something that Julie, for example, does. So we each have our very distinct, different style. And we're very interested ourselves to see how that is going to complement each other, and how that's going to accumulate into one cohesive thing. So that's some of the interesting parts of the journey for us as well. So thank you for that question, Jack.
Jack says,
I just wanted to add something about the process, in that we are also writing a text about our intentions, which go along with the piece that we started. So I've been very influenced in terms of not just my style, but by reading the other person's text. And that's really influenced my direction and how I've gone.
I think that goes for many of us. I think what's really funny is that I think I've heard along the way, I've heard every single one of you say something to the effect of, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, I don't want to ruin it. And I love that we all have that reaction, because for some reason we all sort of are like, oh my gosh, this is so precious. And you would think as artists we are very self-centered, and we want to take center stage, and we feel that our idea and our thing has to like be the be all end all. And with this project, it's completely the other way around. We all are so afraid to step on each other's toes and sort of mess up what the other one did before us, which I think is really interesting way to look at it. And I think it also shows that we really have great respect for each other and for each other's craft and knowledge and ideas. So I'm very excited and interesting to see how it develops.
So Jack says, cool, thanks for answering.
Thanks for hanging in there, Jack. We appreciate you. Awesome sauce. I think that's it for now. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Denise. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Next week.
Yep.